Hello everyone, and welcome to our new webinar. My name is Theo, and in today's webinar I want to show you a very excited extension. This is a Skimp extension for SketchUp. But first, who we are? We are official SketchUp distributor for Eastern Europe. Also, we are a VRA training center, and we are a place for 3D artists and future 3D artists. In this webinar, I want to show you what exactly is Skimp extension and what you can do with this extension. This extension is for import different file to SketchUp like FBX, OBJ, and STL files. The reducing polygon to this object is very good for SketchUp because if you put some object with a lot of polygons and geometry, your file is moving slow and your viewport is slowed down, and this reduction to a polygon in SketchUp speed up your model. Skimp extension is developed by this studio. You can download Skimp extension from this site here. Skimp extension is paid, and now I want to show you the prices for Skimp extension. Like any extension, you have a trial license for 5 days. You can buy standard license for $65 per year, or budget license per month, or permanent license. When you download Skimp extension, Skimp extension come in our computer like a RBZ file, and you can install from here, window, extension manager, install extension, and load your RBZ file. This is a Ruby file. Okay. Import FBX or OBJ or STL files. This is the different AU files which support from Skimp extension, and you can load this file to your scene and reduce your polygon. Let's see how can we do that. I prepare some models. When you use 3D warehouse from SketchUp, here we have a lot of models. Some models are very good, some models is basic, but if you want to use something else and download model from site like this, Archibase Planet, let's download this model and let's see how can we use. But first we have to extract. Extract file here. And we have a 3ds format. This 3ds format is not like a 3ds Max scene. This is the file which can we open with SketchUp, and let's see how work with Skimp. Skimp extension looks like this box. The first tab is to import model. The second tab is simplify selection. When we have a model in our scene, we can reduce geometry inside. This bucket is to put texture to our model, like UV texture, and the last tab is setting. This is our setting. To apply UV texture, I will switch off this one for now, and I want to import 3 models, and the last one I want to show you how can you put UV texture. Okay, let's import this model. I'll open my folder and choose 3ds file. When I press to open, Skimp start to import my model here. This import is preview. Here I can reduce my faces. With this slider, I see how many faces have my model now, and I can slow down, and you see the quality of models is terrible now, but when I put my model to 100%, we have a lot of geometry, and our SketchUp file, let's take a minute to load. Okay, now it's load. If I press import now, my model have to be a lot of faces, and I don't want that, because I want to speed up my model, and I will slow down this one to 25%. Okay, I think 25% is enough for SketchUp. The other things is transform. We can rotate our model, like X axis, rotate in U axis, and rotate Z axis. We can change our units model here. We have a simple preview to when we open SketchUp. Always we have these things and this mark, because we have to know our size and model are there in real world scale, and we can change that. We can change to meters, and now when we see our base model mark is too small now. Okay, I will leave this in centimeters, and I will press import. When I press import, you can see here down on the left, my importing models is running away. Now is 60%, and okay, my model is load. It's like very beautiful. This is the famous Barcelona chair. Okay, let's try another one. I want to use the heavy model here, and I press the download. If you have any questions to me, you can use the QA form in your page. Of course, when I finish, I will be glad to answer you. Okay, let's extract model here. And again, we have a 3ds format. come to my scene in SketchUp and press import model. Take this 3ds format. From here I can change the files which I import. This one is 3ds, but when you choose the AU files, you see any support file. Let's open. Now Skimp built my preview to model. This is very useful because if I load my model from file import to SketchUp, my model come with a lot of mistakes, some object missing or something else is broken. And the Skimp give us the right way to put different file in our SketchUp scene, and of course to reduce our faces. Let's put it to 100%. This is a lot of faces. If I press import now, my scene to SketchUp have to be very slow. And I use my slider to see the better results, to not lose any of my objects, but to reduce my face, to speed up this scene. Maybe 35 is a lot, and of course I have to change my units, maybe in millimeters. Yes, now I'm the real world scale. Okay, I will reduce more. Okay, I think this is enough for my model, and I press import. And now Skimp start to calculate my model faces and reduce it. If I put a lot of faces, maybe it's 200%, I have to wait more time to import model because it's heavy. And now, wait a second. Yes, this is a lot of polygons. Okay, my model is import. Sometimes when we import any models, our scene is moved slowly again. We can reduce geometry to any of our models. What I wanna show you next tab from Skimp. When I select my model, I will press to simplify selection. And now my geometry start to calculate again, and I can reduce my faces. When I press the button replace, my model has to be replaced in scene. And generating geometry, it's starting. This model is without texture. In the next one I will show you how can we use the UV texture. we wait more because we have a lot of polygons here. Because SketchUp read any faces and any edges. It's the SketchUp is different calculate, and here we have a message Porsche. Yes. And we wait to calculate and replacing selected object. This is the UV texturing from Skimp. The next model is a little bit different. I'll download this one from 3D Sky, and this is the model prepare for V-Ray render. Let's download. We see the size 75 megabytes. This is a heavy model. And now our model is replaced, but we have to be careful with Skimp, because sometimes when we reduce our faces in some place missing. Okay, I will delete this one, and I will come here to my setting, and I will switch on this slider, apply UV texture, and I will press OK. Let's see my download. Extract my file here. First, I have a preview to our model. This is a 3D Max scene file and OBJ file. We see the size is 223 megabytes, and texture. This is a bump to our texture, to our text to texture. This is the diffuse map, and the last one is wood. Okay, let's open this model from Skimp. I import this model. I will use this time OBJ file. I select my file and press the open. Okay, now we see preview, but the size is not correct. Some models are in inch, and you can try to change your dimension from here, or meters, centimeters, or feet. Okay, the size now looks good. Do you see this one? I have 2% from my polygons here. Let's put to 100%. It's not necessary to have a lot of faces to take a good visualization in our scene. It's enough to have a good geometry. Oh, this is a... Do you see this in our model have this little black line. This is the edges to our model. We have a 1 million polygons here. Let's reduce. I'll put 10%. No, the 10% is more. I'll put 5. Okay, now looks good. Let's press the button import and waiting to import our model in SketchUp. This preview is very good because SketchUp is not reading our geometry. We have simple preview and we can reduce before importing this file. Okay, now we have a little red box to our model, and this tells us to put properly our texture. This is the UV texturing. Like us show you here, we switch on this slider, apply UV texture, and let's see how it works. I press the bucket button here from Skimp and I hold my control on my keyboard and press to this texture. I come here in my texture folder and choose my diffuse map. This is my fabric, and I just press open. And now you see we have a very beautiful texture in our model. Let's put our texture to legs. If we come here, I don't know that what to build, but our texture is black. Let's change this one and put a simple wood texture. I'll choose the material wood and I'll take this wood, select my leg and put the texture. My texture is not really good because the texture is not projected, there is any faces from my object. Now I can fix that with V-Ray and 3 planar projector. If you have a V-Ray, you can use V-Ray to fix your texture. When I select my faces, I press the button 3 planar projector, and my texture is fixed. I think my size to texture is very big. Let's change to 200. Yes, now looks pretty. Okay, let's take this texture and let's put to another furniture legs. Okay, let's see a simple preview to our render. I will use V-Ray. Next, I will switch on NVIDIA Eye denoiser. I will put my resolution to 600 and I will press the interactive render. Yes, my model looks very pretty. If you like our webinars, you can go to our YouTube channel, AECO Space, and please press the button subscribe. Also, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We have training programs. This is our place, AECO Space. If you want to understand more about our trainings program, please visit this site, creativeindustries.academy. Here you can understand more about us and our pretty office. Thank you for your attentions. If you have any questions, please use my email theo@aeco.space, and for any sales question you can ask my colleague in sales@aeco.space. Thank you for your attention.